Hi, I'm Charlena Murphy with Force Multiplier Consulting. Join me as I speak with Rashida Godwin, part owner of Titan Express Tours. I wanted to talk to Rashida as a business owner whose primary business is providing tours during tourism season. And with the pandemic, how has her business changed and how is she managing and how is she moving forward? Join me and find out how she's managing now. Good afternoon, everyone. With me today is Rashida Godwin, owner of Titan Express, tour operating service here in Bermuda. And I'd like for Rashida to tell us a bit more about herself and the
Okay,
business.
thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, Selena. Thanks for having me. Yeah, as she said, my name is Rashida Godwin. I'm co-owner. Actually, I own the business with my husband
Yeah.
of Titan Express Limited, and we're a transportation and tour company. We've been in existence for 4 years now, since 2016. Before that, I worked for international companies as a reinsurance accountant, and then I finished up there and started to went into the business with him of doing the transportation and tours. Usually around this time, we would be quite busy doing cruise ships and hotels of large group transports because we have 6 buses in total. We
Right.
have 5 buses that seat 24 passengers, and we have one bus that's a wheelchair accessible bus that sits 14 passengers, but it's still quite large because we got the seats a lot more larger to be more comfortable for the clients and their wheelchair accessible person. Right now it's quieted down because of the COVID
Yeah.
19. So we're really quiet at this time. We're just doing a few summer day camps here and there and just transportation.
I'm glad you said that because I've been on your bus and I loved your tours. I totally love your tours. And I wanted to talk to you because during COVID, many businesses have had to reset, pivot, reinvent themselves, right? And I wanted to discuss the following areas with you since stay in place, moving towards reopening, and now that we're moving into phase 4, how have you responded? Like, how has your business model changed, if at all?
Yeah, one the business model has changed is in that in particularly with our cultural tours, like the tours that you went on and you said you enjoyed, and thank you very much. We appreciate your support very much. Our cultural tours, which is called the African Bermuda Dispersion Cultural Tours, we've had a tremendous response of Bermudians, locals, as saying, could you please do these tours? So I had to figure out a way to get the information out there to people. So what we've started to have is what's on online Zoom webinars. So we actually did one in May, was our first one around Mother's Day in honor of Sally Bassett, because she was a mother and a matriarch in her family. She was an enslaved woman that was unfortunately burned at the stake, and her statue's down at the cabinet grounds. So we actually did a 1 hour Zoom webinar on her, but it ended up being about an hour and a half, 2 hours by the time we got into discussion with folks. We had a really, really good reception on it. We got about 60 or so people join us.
Yes.
And they were from everywhere, even from overseas. And so we said, wow, this is maybe something we should move forward with.
Yes.
So with that, as we're coming into emancipation now, we're actually going to be offering, last year we offered what was called the Mary Prince Legacy Tour on bus, but this year we're going to do her as a virtual tour.
Okay.
So I had somebody go out and take photos with me and stuff like that, and we're actually going to present Mary Prince as a virtual tour, so that's really popular. And then we're also going to have another Zoom webinar on a bit of Mary Prince, and we're honoring Mary Prince because this year is the first year that the holiday, the second day of Cup Match is actually going to be named Mary Prince Day from here on in going forward. And then we're also going to be talking about the friendly societies and their contribution towards emancipation and Cup Match. So we spoke to a few seniors who are still friendly society and large numbers, and we have their interviews, and we are going to do a presentation on the July 16th and 23rd. Those are Thursdays, and they're at, I believe it's, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I have to double check the time because we're still working on it, putting it together. And so we're doing these virtual tours and webinars, and that they've been really good because we had a really great reception for them.
Sounds excellent. So
Yeah.
I hear you because we're moving into July, and my next question was, what were you doing to prepare for the reopening of the economy? Because with with us moving into phase 4, more things will be open. Airlines will be coming in. Some hotels will be opening up. And if you have, because you have started to do some bus routes with, I guess, summer day camps, what kind of changes have you implemented or will you be implementing for the reopening of the economy?
Yeah, like we said, we're staying on the virtual tours. But concerning the buses, we do have the camps, like you said. We've made ourselves available to hotels and anybody that's going to be open as we reopen. And it's pretty much looking like it's just going to be a slow process with that. So we just have to kind of wait and see how it all goes. We have made ourselves available to all of them, but everybody's saying that it's just basically a sit and wait. Even with the airport, we've made ourselves available to the airport in case they need our services down there to help with moving people. And they just said that they will contact us and let us know. But we've put our information out there to be available for everybody that would need it.
Okay. I know you have some employees as you prepare for the reopening, and is there any training or incentives that you've put in place that will help them or maximize their performance that are maybe is different from what they've done before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, every year we always do customer service training with the guys. And so they do professional development. But aside from that, now we had to, Bermuda government just gave us the information for what they need for the transportation and minibus requirements for the COVID-19 going forward. So yeah, we had to get hand sanitizers. So the guys have to use the hand sanitizers for the customers when they get on and off the bus. And then the guys themselves have to wear face masks. And we have to ensure that the bus is cleaned at all times before passengers, of course, get on the bus, while they're on the bus, when they get off the bus. So guys will have to constantly wipe down the seats all the time and sweep out. So that has been a bit of an added course with making sure that all the stuff's on the bus, but we have to do what's required to remain in business. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Different times, right?
Yes,
Got to
yes.
move with this and make the decisions as necessary. Have you, just an add-on question, but have you found it difficult to find the supplies that you needed?
No, not at all. Amazon. And just make sure you had the correct alcohol content. And yeah, Amazon has been fabulous with the face mask and everything. People's always like, oh, I don't want to call anybody's particular company,
Yeah, yeah.
but I went so and they had face masks for like 30, 40, $50. I'm like, I went on Amazon, got the same mask for $5.98. A group of 50, and it's the same exact package. So we are stocked up with that.
Yes.
Because we also got them just in case the children may need them. So now when the guys are even doing the summer camp runs, we give them extra for the summer camps. Even though the summer camps, they always say that all the children already have the mask, but we still give them to allow the guys to take extra. And no, I order everything pretty much off of Amazon, even the cleaning supplies, everything.
Now I do, buy locally as well, but it's just the convenience of it all. Well, this is really great and exciting news. I'm really happy that things are progressing slowly but surely.
Yeah.
You're making the adjustments that are needed. I know as COVID arrived and happened, it put a spanner in many people's business plans and people having to rethink what plan they actually had. During the soft shoulder season, you're planning, you're saving. Well, you're using the money you save to get over that season, and then you're looking to start right up. And I know that with the cancellation of the cruise ships and just the tourism decline in tourism, major decline, it has put a heavy impact on everyone. And I'm really happy to hear that you've made the adjustments necessary and found your audience and found ways that you can still impart information to people and still give that experience, because your tour, the historical tours are a great asset to not only just our people, but obviously you found an audience overseas who's willing to dial in and listen as well.
Yeah.
I would even venture to say school children would be.
Yes. Yeah, well. I had that. A lot of school teachers. One thing I must say about my Bermudian people, that they are supportive people. I even had a gentleman and his wife call me last night and say, we need your tours. But even though we've been on the tour, they said to me, the same tour. I said, but you've been on. They said, yeah, we've been on it twice already, but we want to go again. That's like
I
our
want to do
date
it again.
time. That's
Yeah,
our date.
but I want to do the one I did. I want that one. I thought that was the best tour. I tell people about it all the time because it was so informative, and I know we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
I know that you've specialized and you're hitting certain areas now, but I just thought that was the best tour in Bermuda that I think I've ever been on. It was great.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So I have two additional questions for you. I do tend to ask these questions aside from, I guess, the normal business questions that I tend to ask. But what has been the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself during the past 3 months going through this pandemic?
It's been tough at first because remember you even contacted me earlier, but from you contacted me, it was just always a string of people contacting me, so I had no other choice but to get up and get out of my feelings, really.
Yeah.
So, and I just had to I take this lesson that I always keep with me. It's just learn to like fail forward. You know what I mean?
Fail
And
forward.
learn the lesson.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like just assessing everything, see what you can learn from it, and move forward. It's like fall down 7 times, get up 8, but just get up.
I love that. I
Yeah.
always learn such great things from people as I do these interviews, and that's a great lesson, I think. So, what advice would you give to persons who are currently seeking employment at this time? As you know, there's plenty of people out there looking for jobs right now, and this is one question I tend to ask every person, like from the business leader, entrepreneurs, human resource professionals, just to get a different perspective, just to offer people, what advice would you give?
Yeah, just a few things. I mean, I always get back on the scriptures too, and that this too shall pass, nothing lasts forever. Um, God's got this, and that we just have to keep the faith. And even though it may feel like we're at the bottom, when you're at the bottom, where else is there to go but up, right?
Right.
So the good days are coming. Like they say, joy comes in the morning, and we just really gotta hang in there. And I think if we hang in there, those of us who hang in there, we'll just reap the rewards. And I think the harvest is coming, and I think it's really gonna be good. So just hang in there for the time being, and there will be a way because we're gonna make a way. We got some brilliant minds on this island. We do have to give it up to our government that they I think they did a stellar job, even though I've had to lose business in the aspect of that. But at the end of the day, it's better safe than sorry. So yeah, we just hang in there. Things again get better.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
you spending this time with me, sharing your knowledge, your experience, and just I I appreciate the lesson of it all. It's just a great conversation as always. So thank you, Rashida. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Selena. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All righty. It was such an interesting conversation talking to Rashida today. She shared such knowledge and adaptability in refocusing the tour from going from a bus tour to an online virtual tour. And the interest is steady and growing. I love the tours, so I really recommend it to anyone out there to look out for it. And again, it's Titan Express. So with this, I've also enjoyed hearing her give advice about failure. It's not a failure if you fall forward. If you fall 7 times, just get up 8. I love that. I always learn these great nuggets from people and what motivates them to keep going. I hope you found this information helpful to you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and we'll learn and grow together. I'll see you again soon. Bye.